How's it going, guys? Quick update here. Things that I'm seeing over the last 48 hours. Let's go down here to, let's just go to the 4 hour. 4 hour, we're still trailing up. Trailing up and sideways. Up and sideways. Nobody knows what to do. Do we buy? Do we short it? My personal opinion is that I'm expecting this to break up higher. I just don't see this right now making this move falling down. If it does come down, I mean, honestly, this is what it's doing. It is testing this area heavily. This is, see, we're at 21,226 right now. We're trying to stay above 20,000. Why are we staying up above 20,000? Right here. This is why. 20,000 is 2017's all-time high. And all these horizontal lines here, I had this laid out from yesterday. We might go over it a little bit. Blue lines are the Bitcoin halving. Red is the peak. Green is the bottom. Now I have the green here, not because I know that's the bottom, but it seems, I mean, if you just look at, if you're into patterns with charting, you are into patterns. I mean, these seem pretty well staggered, almost perfectly, for this to be a bottom. I know that a lot of people make an argument whether they're right. I mean, they could be right. And I could be wrong. But the saying right now is that U.S. markets have been in a bull market for 10 plus years. Bitcoin has only existed during that bull market, and that started, I mean, this chart here goes to 2010, but Bitcoin came about during the mortgage crisis, when everybody was doing I don't even know what kind of term loans it was, to be quite honest. It was I can't think of it at the moment. It wasn't fixed rate. It was a variable rate mortgages. Banks were loaning money to people that could not pay a variable rate mortgage, and rates raise up, and people living paycheck to paycheck can't make their mortgage payment, and they start defaulting on them, and then the banks have to take on those properties, and they just end up with a bunch of debt that their customer cannot pay, and what do you do? So anyways, so that's one argument, and it's it's something to think about, and you shouldn't just ignore it. But anyways, let's move on, and I'll stop stirring you crazy here with the cursor. Currently, we're on the weekly time frame, and we're this white line. This is a moving average. This is a 21 EMA, exponential moving average, weekly time frame. And if we scroll back, now here's a run up, here's a sell off, here's a run up, here's a sell off. Anytime that we get above the 21 EMA, I mean, it looks fairly clear that there is a run up. This run up here, here's 2017, happened at the end of 2017, and then we had a bear market, and here's the following year, And this red down here is the 200-day moving average. And we got underneath the 21, was tested as, it was resistance at that point. And finally we capitulated, came down to the 200-day, found support, and worked our way sideways. Markets didn't want it to go below that until we trailed over sideways long enough. That's all they have to do in a market, because they know, market makers know what people like me are doing, and that's fine and dandy. But it tested the 200 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then stayed above it, and then broke above the 21-day moving average. The blue line is the 50-day moving average. That was the next resistance, and I can put a fib on here, and we can do a trend-based fib, and we can find every one of these where all these are landing. Here's the shelf, fell down below, came down, and we can find all these fibs and targets. We got the the 618 is the one that I'm always looking at, and I think it is the most important. It not only works on a large time frame, it can work on a 5-minute chart. It doesn't matter. It depends what your time frame is. If you're a long-term investor, I know Bitcoin is not exactly long-term, but you at least have a year. From COVID to 65 is, I don't even know if that was even a year. I think that was 6 months. Half a year. It went from 3,800 to 65,000 in 6 months. That's plenty of time. Even if what we're at right now is a bottom, in 6 months we could be 28,000. Every one of these levels here, they found support here at we're gonna go right here. There's one, here's one. These are all levels. Every one of these probably, this is support. We're underneath support. It'll become resistance, and that's a target. So we have price action as resistance and support, and we got moving averages. So we are below the 200. We're above the 21. And when we get above the 21 in the past, now the past does not predict what future performance will do, but it is definitely something to be watching. 2013, we're below the 21, found support on the 200, came up, tested the 50-day, came back to the 200, fell below, got back up, and at the point where the 21 crossed the 50-day and price got above it, it stayed above it. And that, even if you didn't buy here, buying here was still a good spot. Here we're at just kind of compare like what we're at right now. There's $300 to $20,000. If you bought one Bitcoin, your $300 just turned into $20,000. If you bought 2 Bitcoin for 600, it just turned into 40,000. So clearly that's not a bad trade. Now we ain't gonna get that out of Bitcoin anymore because it's old, the price is up, it's high, and luckily we have altcoins to mess with, and that's the whole purpose of altcoins. Some of them will be around a long time, provide a decent service, but most of them are just money-making schemes. They're worthless, they're crap, and I would not be holding them. I'd hold them from here to here, but I wouldn't be holding them from here down to here. you're looking at a 90% loss. You're going to basically give most of your profits away. Now, if you want to hold from here, set through all this, and wait, you're probably 8 years out. If you can wait 8 years, then that's totally up to you. And by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy this stuff. I do what you want to do with your money. But what I can tell you, what I do know, and what this chart says is that it goes up a lot, a lot, and then it comes down a lot. But it always ends up going up higher than what it ever did coming down. So if that theory holds true, then we will probably see Bitcoin in the future up higher. So we are above the 21 right now, but we are below the 200. Now, why are we below the 200? I don't know. You know, I do know that Bitcoin's trend is weakening. You know, for it to have a exponential run like this from a bottom of $160 to 20,000, I mean, what is that? Let's call it 200 into 20. What are you, 100x? Right, and let's say the bottom now is 15,000. Are we going to do 100x off of 15,000? That's like $1.5 million. No, I do not think so. I don't think there's enough people out there to buy the price up, multiplying Bitcoin to $1.5 million in the next bull run. So as long as we know that Bitcoin is in an uptrend, everything else is going to follow suit. Altcoins will follow suit to Bitcoin. They keep Bitcoin propped up. Everyone knows what Bitcoin is. Nobody knows what Solana is, what Link is, Cardano. Maybe a lot of people know what Doge is, but there are so many cryptos out there that are decent projects that are still around that outperform Bitcoin 10 to 1. Every time Bitcoin is definitely for certain in an uptrend, altcoins always follow suit. And we can look at some other altcoins here in a little bit. But anyways, I just want to point out that we're above the 21. We got the 200 above us. The 200 is at, let's just call it, we'll just call it, there's 24.8. Let's call it 25,000. 25,000 is an easy target. There's the 50. We got the 50 and the 200. You know, what do they call that? A death cross. They are going to, I'd like to show you all something else here. These death crosses. Every time you hear someone say something talking about death cross, if you're following crypto, that they just love it. Oh, watch out for the death cross. Well, the death cross happens after the move has already started. The down move started here, and the death cross is happening over here. We're a year out. Why would you be scared of the death cross? Because the move, you should have been scared about this move happening, not this move. This move's already happened. The moving averages are lagging. The price is going to be pushed up. Now, they might want to get it up here and fool people out and, you know, do a lot of chop, chop, chop and really confuse the hell out of you. But just know, if it stays above this 21, I wouldn't really be all too concerned about it. What's going on here? Let's go back here, right in here. They were trying to avoid a death cross, and I believe it was on the daily. Here we go. Yep, right here. Here's the 50, here's the 200. Oop, death cross. Oh god, sell, sell, sell. Boom, here comes price. Chop, 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 right back up. Everybody went short. You know, if they wasn't paying attention, didn't realize that moving averages are lagging to price by you know, this is daily. We're downtrend here, 65,000. We're at April, mid-April. And death cross at mid-June. So April, May, June, 2 months later. All the pain already happened, and here's the death cross. Yeah, we did trail sideways. They were still believing the death cross. And I do remember this day. Right here. I was watching it. I was in my backyard doing something, looking on my phone. And one of these candles here, I don't know. I don't know which one. Let's see, that's a $2,300 move. This is a day. One of these candles just totally annihilated the market. You want to talk about a short squeeze? I mean, it just, everyone's ass got the, you know, got their asses handed to them, basically. Just like it did right here. You know, this here had patterns in it. This here, let's go over here to the 4 hour. We'll zoom in on that. I mean, technically this whole area right here, this is a double bottom. And, you know, I'm not without even charting it and trying to get a measurement, but, you know, target hit, basically, the targets are here. They already set this up. Ball here, cup it. Here's a midpoint, neckline, whatever you want to call your base. You got right here. You know, let's turn it on line chart for a second. See if we can kind of clear some of this crap up. Let's put it close, and we can go here. Let's do it right here. These are closes, so 4 hour closing. I don't know what the daily would do for us. Might clear some of that up. Possibly made it worse. Either way, you know, double bottom, you just take the measurements from here, 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 put it on top of the breakout. This is the breakout. Broke out here, took off. I mean, we went flying. Probably exceeded its target. See if we can find it here. I put it on a candle. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. There, to the top, to the bottom. Hit the 1618, 21.5. I mean, clearly we're toying with the we're toying with 21.5 right now. We have been for the last 3 days. I mean, the 1618 was the target. Depending on how many people are short right here, if it's lopsided short, they're going to push it up. You know, they could. I've seen it come down here halfway. Don't even come to the 200 on the daily. Stop it right here. Get people really short, thinking that they're, you know, they start adding in on their short, wanting to catch the move. And they'll flip it. They'll flip it and run it right up here. Here's 25. That's the targets. You got 21.5, then you got 25.5. And does 25.5 line up with anything? Let's see. Scroll out here. Where we at 25.5 right here. Here we go. There's one. I mean, they could hit that and push it right on up. You know, right here. Here's your next target. You got here, here, here. These are all targets. They're going to hit every one of these. Here's a target, there, 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 there. Every one of these. If this is a reversal, they're just going to flip it and push it right back up, because just like an uptrend retraces, a downtrend retraces the other way. Markets move up, down, up, down, up, down. You don't just keep going down, 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 down. It doesn't work that way. Eventually, in a market in a downtrend, you run out of sellers. Who's left to sell? Any sell-off would be a manipulation to forcefully make it sell off. If they get price up here, there's going to be a lot of long positions. They will sell it off to liquidate them. They'll just even the playing field over and over again. Up here, people wanted to see it go higher. Sold it off. They knew that this move here was a big move, and however they want to do it, manipulate it. It could be exchanges working together, which they do work together. I mean, exchanges are into really paying out their customer base over and over again. They'll move price against them. This move here, they baited them in. It broke above 65. People thought we were going up higher. People got long. They dumped the market. You know, there's a lot of people up here left holding bags. A lot of people right here holding a bag of Bitcoin had 48,000. I'm not. I wasn't in this shit. I mean, I was, if anything, shorting it. Anyways, let's move on here. One thing I was wanting to show you guys on the 2-week time frame. Turn the MACD on right here. Alright. One thing you'll notice, these moving averages. These moving averages. Here we got the 12. Inputs. Oh, freaking crap. Yeah, 1226. You can see the moving averages down here across bullish. I mean, across bullish here, but we had bearish divergence here. You know, again, we had a high, a lower high, we had a high, a higher high. Price was diverging from the indicator. Indicators were saying, no, this is not an optimal time to be buying. But we did this, and now that the indicators have played it out, now it's time to flip. We flipped right here. In fact, this week, last week was the bullish week. The week before, when price was going sideways, we hadn't crossed yet. The following week, which was last week, went bullish. The moving averages flipped bullish. Let's go back here to 2017. Look at this. Here we are. Okay, we haven't hit the 21. We're under the 21. Big deal. I mean, even the 21 is a target. That's at almost 24,000 on the 2-week. Here we are. Moving averages cross bullish. We had the 6-month run up in Bitcoin. Things started taking off. You know, just kind of, it was a relief rally, basically. Some of it called what was it, plus token or something like that. It was a Ponzi scheme. You know, who knows what the reasons are, but if anything, let's just call it a relief rally. And it ran up for, I believe, from measuring from the bottom, not the breakout. Bottom was December. Yeah, a year later, December of 18, and it ran all the way up to June of 2019. So basically, I had 6 months there of a relief rally. You know, then we got underneath it. Then we got back above it again. Moving averages crossed again here, and that was the Bitcoin halving right there. So I mean, it's very possible we get a relief rally here, and we get people long, liquidate them, crash the market again, get people short. It's just a repeat is all it is. We're just repeating the same things that they do every time, kind of like FTX. A lot of people think that was the first thing to ever happen. No. Let's see, we had Mt. Gox. A lot of people lost a lot of Bitcoin there. I mean, you can say it was dollars, it didn't matter. It was crypto, it was worth something, and exchange went down. Couldn't, who knows what the hell the reasons are. The exchanges get over leveraged. Their assets start losing value. They're not worth as much, and they either go lose their money or their value, or they already knew that was going to happen. In a bear market, so much damage happens to people. It's amazing that it just keeps happening over and over again. I don't know. I wasn't around to really pay attention what Bitcoin was around Mt. Gox, but I was right here. What was it? It was Quadriga CX. Wasn't really familiar with that exchange. Didn't use it. That was one that got people. I know that BitConnect in here was a scam. I mean, I remember even looking at that website, looking at the returns that they were claiming that they could give people. It was insane. I mean, when you put the numbers, you ran a calculator. I mean, how the hell? If I would have bought here and they would have been paying out what they said they would have over here, I'd be a billionaire right now. And I'm just one of a million. So does all the millions of customers become billionaires? No, I knew they wouldn't have enough money. It was a scam, a washout. So we had Mt. Gox, Quadriga, BitConnect. We had a Ponzi plus tokens Ponzi in this thing here. Took people, and then we have FTX. It's just the same shit over and over again. So that's a given. And when we have another run up, there's going to be a new Ponzi scheme. I mean, main thing is just pick the safest exchange you can. Get your money off the exchanges or your tokens, whatever, Bitcoin or an altcoin. Put them in your own wallet and hold them. And don't be buying chicken nugget token coin. And I don't know, they came out with some wild ones. Chicken nugget, yeah, I remember that. That was I couldn't believe it. And even Binance, I mean, they've got their own lending, or I don't even know what is that called? Pancake swap? Pancake. I mean, could you come up with a better name? For the love of God, Pancake. We're like going off of foods and beverages. Like that's your project name is Pancake. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so let's just zoom in here. I mean, we can zoom in if you're a trader and you want to trade. Quite honestly, if this is a whole uptrend, there's really no need to be trading. You probably ought to be looking for buy-ins, is what I'm doing. Got the parabolic action. We're up here trailing sideways. This could come down here. I'd be looking at the 200. We're at the 50. We're clearly finding support on the 50 right now. We're toying with both of them, 21 and the 50. This here has just been trashing people all, last 2 days. Oh, we're going higher. Go long. No, down. Oh, that sucks. Go short. Nope, we're going back up. Go long. I mean, just over and over and over. This is what these wicks are. These are just trashing people that are going 50x, 75x, 100x leverage. They're just toying with them. But eventually this will come back up, and if let's turn these on, our indicators. I'm going to take the MACD off because I really don't use it that much, other than just looking at a long time frame. We do have bearish divergence. I mean, we're running out of steam here. They're keeping price propped up here, liquidating people, just taking advantage of them. But in a true uptrend, one that's sustainable over a decent period of time, I'm talking a month, a 2 month, bearish divergence, they can run the price up for as long as they want. Remember, the same people that crash the market up at the top are sitting around with a boatload of money just ready to deploy, and they might have their long positions down here, and they can use the remainder of their funds to keep market buying, pushing this thing up until they get enough people to start FOMOing in, fear of missing out, they want to buy the run up, and it takes off. So bearish divergence is fine to look at, but in a bull market, it can just keep on going. 4 hour trending down, price went up. Let's go to the 8 hour. 8 hour, same thing. Price went up, coming down, coming down. I don't know if I can scroll back long enough. I'm sure I remember certain times, year back or year and a half ago. I know Ethereum did that. Back when it was making its first all-time high, when Bitcoin went to 65,000. If we can get back there. So we're on an 8 hour. Right there. There it is. I mean, look at that. There is so much bearish divergence there, and the price just kept going. Here's a high. This hadn't happened over here, but here was a high. There's a high. There's a low. A lower high. And here's a higher high. And it just kept going, and they pushed it up again. I mean, this whole trend, we'd have to go over to went to a 12 hour. I mean, this whole run up is just very stubborn. I mean, we're losing, there ain't enough buyers to keep going. Someone keeps pushing the price up. If we go from here, I mean, this whole thing, we're at here. I mean, technically, some of there's sell-offs in there. It was losing steam, but I mean, the price was clearly going up. Indicators are saying down. So do I think that's where we're at right now? I mean, this is like bull run territory right here. I mean, everybody knew that crypto was going up massively. But we can come over here, there's COVID. Here's the bottom for Ethereum. It was making highs, highs, highs. This is a 12 hour. I don't think I can get it down to a 4 hour. Let's just go back here to Bitcoin. I really don't pay attention to Ethereum too much. That's one thing everyone needs to know, is that if Bitcoin sells off, most generally 98% of altcoins sell off with it. Let's see if we can get some targets here. gave you one. I mean, the 4 hour just, I mean, it looks overbought, but I don't know if this is going to be another one of those times where we get people bullish and then it just sells off in craters. I mean, I do have ideas of how it can get down here and, you know, reasons why, but it just really doesn't seem like it's time to do that. We'll get on a daily. I mean, even though earlier we projected this, you know, we got a low, high, low, the 1618, it still lands on a daily at the 382. I mean, that's calling 21,617. The high, well, 21,615. That's, if that doesn't say that's not a target, I mean, that's within like $2. And that's right. Up here is your telling you what the prices are. 21,615.85. The daily chart on a fib extension called for 21,617.54. It overshot it. If what I would say, if it gets above this, we're going up here to 23. It's called 24,000. That would target this area right here. We've already targeted this area with a fib. Here's your next area. 618, it lands right there. If we was just do a simple fib retracement, let's get it out here. See how both these line up. The 236. $236 more or less gets you right here in this area. You know, old support, new resistance. 382 right here, this area. These are all clusters. You know, when price trails sideways, we're finding a bottom, we're creating support. Price gets under it, comes back up, test it, retest it. You know, that's that. This won't. I mean, this. I wouldn't expect this to just be an easy ride. If this is a bottom, we're going to expect volatility. After this move happened right here, what I would be looking at is any chance of having price down here would be a buying opportunity. I assure you there's going to be a lot of people buying if they're smart in this area. If it gets below this, then I guess that's even more of a buying opportunity. They've already presented the move. At least to me, they have. Every time they get above every one of these areas, it turns into support again. It'll, you know, here, here, we're back up here. We get above this, we're going to come back down here, test this as support, up, down, up, down, up, down, working our way up. One thing I also wanted to show you guys is that the at least with the golden ratio with targets. Let's see if I can find this. We're on the Bitcoin US dollar index. We're going to go from a peak here. Now, hold on. Let me get rid of that. We're going to redo that. Okay, we're going from a bottom, 2018 bottom, COVID. There's the 1618 up around the top. Let's go way out here. In fact, I don't like this. Let's get on the Coinbase one. That's the index, or the BLX. Go from that bottom, that 2017 top, to the bottom. We're 618 here. Clearly this area here was toying with the 618. Came down to the 0.5, found support, worked our way back up, got above the 618, and then that's where the downtrend happened. But each one of these fibs, these are targets. I mean, here's support, we fell below it. People, you know, if you're using a fib, you're thinking we're coming down here, now we're back above it. You know, 0.5, if we're above the 382, we find support on this. You know, here's another target. Anyways, guys, not much has changed. I'm just kind of waiting to see what it does, and we will keep you updated. Thanks again.